Hi, and welcome to this video. First of all, congratulations. I am very impressed by your commitment to learning, to being here, to knowing about your emotions, and to creating a hopeful future for your life that has meaning, value, and satisfaction. And I hope with all of this learning that you have found some useful tips and techniques about how to work with emotions, how to work with your body dispositions, and how to work with that language that will help you create that hopeful future in your life that makes life just worth living. Remember, life is meant to be lived joyously, and there is no sense in going on with life with that heavy baggage of resentment or resignation, but moving instead into an area where you can be accepting, where you can allow curiosity and lightness to come in, and of course, to be in gratitude. So let me take a few moments to wrap up some of the actions that we've covered in this course. This course was about mastering emotions and the tremendous role that emotions play in creating the life that we live. Emotions are interpreted, and they are interpreted because they have a story. There's a language that goes on around that emotion, and that language causes us to take certain actions that predisposes us to take one particular action at the expense of other actions. Now, that list of emotions that I gave you, 135 of them, there are a lot of emotions that you can work with. The invitation with this course is to understand the stories behind the emotions. So what does that mean for you? Well, for me, it means when I look at an emotion that I'm curious about, I go to the dictionary. I find the meaning and find out its etymology. And the etymology will help me understand what was actually meant by that emotion. Because you see, over time, through colloquialism and the way we actually use that emotion in language, we tend to move away from the original intent and meaning of that emotion. So once we know the root of that emotion, then we can say, aha, so that's what it initially meant. And you will find out in your explorations that many of the words that we use to describe emotions in the English language come from Latin and Greek. And there are a few others that are borrowed from other languages. I also invite you to explore emotions and the linguistics behind emotions in whatever language is familiar to you. And you will find that there's a richness, a rich hereditary inheritance of the human species as a whole in terms of emotions. Emotions are how we interact within the world because we interact in the world with our human body. The human body is what experiences emotion, and that unique observer that we are is what interprets that emotion. So life, for you and for me and for those around us, is an interpretation, a unique interpretation in the way we see the world. And the way we see the world is not right, it's not wrong, it's just the way we see the world. And when you understand that, then you have the power to choose that emotion, to choose that story, to come into conversations, come into interactions that create clarity, meaning, value, and satisfaction for you. And why do I stress language so much? Well, it's because I'm a leadership life coach, and language is truly the only way we interact with other human beings in our life. And like I mentioned, in this world, in this current time, it is extremely difficult. It is so difficult to live a life of a hermit away from other people. So no matter what you do, where you go, you are going to have to interact with people. And when you interact with other human beings who bring their own emotions, who bring their own physical dispositions and everything like that, you're going to have this wonderful human experience. But you get to decide how you're going to show up in those conversations. You get to decide how you're going to show up in those interactions. And you get to decide what makes you satisfied out of those interactions. And when you do that, it becomes powerful. So what you do, you choose the appropriate emotion. You choose the appropriate story. You choose the appropriate body disposition that serves its purpose for that interaction. And how do you do that? Well, when you interrupt thoughts in your head, the best way to do that is to change your body shape. So what are you going to do? You are going to notice what emotion that you want to bring. You're going to notice what story you want to bring, and then change and move your body into center, into that body disposition of center. And when you are in center, you get to decide which one is more appropriate and then move in the appropriate direction. And once you've been able to do that, then new possibilities emerge. And truly, that is what life is about. Life is about possibilities. What kind of possibilities do you want for yourself? What kind of possibilities do you want for your community that you surround yourself with. Perhaps it could be family, perhaps it could be friends, perhaps it could be your coworkers at work or within your organization. What kind of changes do you want in your life? Because you see, you are in conscious control of how you interact within the world, especially if you know what emotions to use, what language to use, and how you're going to show up in presence. So I hope this has been helpful. And if you do have any questions, if you have any comments about any of the material you learned in this course, I invite you to connect with me on the Facebook group or in the discussion forums there, and I will be there to answer each and every one of your comments and questions. So take care of yourself. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.